He also spoke about a number of other things. The biggest one, obviously, center, addressing that Mason Cole wasn't in their plans in 2024. And he just kind of addressed, hey, it's a respect thing. It's same with Chuk, same with Presley, same with Mitch Trubisky. Once they realized that they were not going to be part of the team this upcoming season, they figured they give everybody a head start in free agency, which I think is a respect thing. I respect that. I get that maybe you could have got something for Chuk's core for, but I think the rest of them, it was a good move. And I think somebody like Chuk's, who you kind of hoped worked out, didn't work out, I respect the fact that you could just say, we'll let him sign where he wants to sign instead of forcing a trade on him, because he will be valuable somewhere else, and chances are you're going to get like a 5th round pick. It's not going to be a lot for Chuk's core for. He did say in replacing Mason Cole for center, Nate Herbig is an option. James Daniels is an option, but he said that he had a very good year at guard, and the Steelers enjoyed what he did in guard, thought he improved. So I think I agree there. Said he's open to the NFL draft, open to free agency, open to trades if there is a trade available for a center. I think trading for a center is as difficult as it comes, because there are 32 good ones and then there are 32 ones. And I don't know if you're taking a shot on an one. You look at free agency, I've been told that the Steelers have some interest in a name like Brian Allen, probably a guy to watch. You think that's the way to go? You think the Steelers are, I mean, we'll find out on Saturday when they talk to the centers and the offensive linemen, but you hear that, you think it kind of changes your mind, sculpts a little bit more towards veteran over maybe a rookie?
To be quite honest, not really. I still think that they're going to look more towards the draft. I feel like the draft is the better route, to be quite honest. I feel like, Khan also did mention that he feels like it's a deep, not just center class, but offensive, but not just center class, but offensive line class as a whole. So I feel like there are going to be plenty of options for them to pick up a guy who has the potential to be a long-term option. That's the thing. Like, Braden Allen, he's the Rams, right? Brian Allen, excuse me.
Yeah, from the Rams. He's 28, I want to say.
Really? He's that young? I thought he was much older, but I changes things a little bit, but I still feel like a guy that you can build around for cheap for a lot longer is the better way to go. And I feel like that's a draft thing. And there are at least 3 guys, maybe 4 guys that I think you would feel comfortable doing that with. So I'm still kind of sold on the draft for right now. Like you said, I just don't know what the free agent center market is going to look like. And is that a position that the Steelers really want to invest big time money in? Because like you need an obvious upgrade there. How obvious is enough? Like, because there's also like levels to it. I feel like in the free agent, like there is the like $10 million guys like the Ryan Jansons or blanking on the Bears guy, but he just got cut. Forget his name.
Cody Whitehair.
Yeah. Like there are guys like that who are 6, 7, upwards of that many millions of dollars, and then everyone else is like 1 million, 2 million, 1.5 million. For like probably for a reason. That's what leads me to believe that you bank on one of these good centers in this draft. I feel like there's tons of potential there that you can, if you're, I'd rather roll the dice on a younger guy in the draft than go for a free agent in my mind.
I agree. I think the issue with the draft that is becoming a thing is Zach Frazier is starting to climb heavily up boards. I saw a couple of mocks while I'm here in Indy, just like eating at a bar or something, scrolling across the bottom of a ticker that said like Frazier going 25th or Frazier going 29th. And if him and Jackson Powers-Johnson are gone in the first round and the Steelers don't draft either of them, which I think Frazier at 20 is it. I mean, I think you're just shooting a little bit too high there. That could become an issue. And I think if that trend continues, you could look at it and say, maybe you sign a Brian Allen. Maybe that's where their interest comes from. And then you draft a guy later in the 3rd, 4th round, and you utilize that to develop him, and you say, okay, well, look, we could get 2 good years out of Brian Allen before he's 30 years old. And then at that point, this next guy is good to go. And I think Brian Allen's a starter. I think he's a capable dude in the NFL. I think definitely an upgrade over Mason Cole. And if you aren't going to land one of these top 2, which I think they, if they have an opportunity to, great. But if we're being honest, I've been told down here I've been talking to a number of draft experts who are not as high on Jackson Powers-Johnson as me and you were. And that's a little concerning. If they could get maybe a little bit deeper in the draft, I think a veteran makes sense. Maybe Nate Herbig makes sense. I'm skeptical on moving Nate Herbig to center. I'm not like a proponent of you take a guy who plays guard, who jokes about how he doesn't play center, and tell him to play center. I just don't think that's the. But maybe they like him. Maybe that's the big move. I don't know, but I could see a veteran signing, and a guy like Brian Allen's young enough that you could still utilize him and have 2-3 good years in him, and then draft a guy if it doesn't work out that way, and do that. Because with the 20th pick, I mean, you could draft Zach Frazier if he's still available. I think Jackson Powers-Johnson will be gone. Yeah, exactly. But you're gonna get that, like, you passed up on really good corners, you passed up on really good offensive tackles. I just don't know if it's the best move, and the board just might not shake out in their favor.
Yeah, that's Zach Frazier could kind of blow this all up if he rises to around the 20th mark, and I don't think I would use the 20th pick there. There's just like better value, I feel like, at other positions.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it depends on just how high, like how this center, because it's, I don't know, it's a good center class, I feel like, but after those, but you need a starting caliber guy,
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like, whatever move you have to make, it has to be starting caliber right away. And if you're not convinced about one of those top 4 guys, then just go with a free agent. But like, I think any move you make, you have to be sure that this guy, for at least the next 2-3 years, is going to be our center. Like, it shouldn't have to be a position of worry at all. And so I guess I think free agent might, a Brian Allen might give you more assurance there. Like, it makes it less of a headache. I think you stay up, but you lose less sleep over a Brian Allen than you do, a Zach Frazier or a Cedric Van Pran or Jackson Powers-Johnson, or even I think it's Grant Barton, right? From Duke.
Grant Barton. Yeah.
Like, I think those guys are, for as much as I like them, they are a roll of the dice. And if with Frazier like rising the way that he has, that, I don't know, that blows things up a little bit, like you outlined. So I would just that would be a case where I would say that would make me kind of go more towards the free agent route, I think.
Yeah, I think Frazier depends. The other 2 guys after him, I'm just not sold, are instant starters. Whereas in, like, and you could draft them, and if you draft them in the 3rd round, cool. And I don't think you owe anything to Brian Allen to be like, okay, well, you were really good for a year. This new guy's 100% ready to go. But I just think I think it's definitely an option both ways. And from what I'm hearing, they just do have interest in Brian Allen. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting that Omar Khan addressed just that they're approaching all options. And I don't know, even a trade would be kind of wild